Yo, shout out Trump, bro. Yeah. What did he do?
Well, he's indicted, or he owes what, $175 million in like 10 days.
Yeah, he posted it.
He posted?
Yeah.
Guy got the money, but they were coming at our boy Jon Stewart, and I didn't like it. I looked into this.
Wow, what happened? What did Jon do?
Jon Stewart did a whole Daily Show piece about what Trump did, which is basically like he would massively lie about the size of a home he had. It would be 10,000 square feet, and it's 30,000 square feet.
He would inflate the value of his property.
So that would inflate the value of his property, and then he would go to the bank and be like, hey, let me get this massive loan at a lower interest rate because I'm worth so much money. Look how much I have in holdings.
There's no risk.
No risk. You guys can just have that if I default on it. So he would get a lower interest rate. He got found guilty of that, and the judge ordered him to pay $450 million, which is what the judge said those loans with interest would have cost you, or that's how much you made on it.
And then he pays that to whom?
He pays that to the city of New York.
And what do they do with it?
Give it back to the people through whatever the taxes.
Give it to the migrants.
Give it to the migrants. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
Yeah. But the bigger issue is Stewart does this piece, and I think the point of Stewart's thing was like he kind of goes at Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank.
Yes.
Pretty hard, because Kevin O'Leary's like, dude, we all do this. All my friends are scared. Like, what's going to happen to us? And he's like, rich people are so used to breaking the law that they're like, we broke the law and we got punished. What the fuck? And his point is, I think more so, what you guys don't understand is if poor people do this, they get thrown in jail. If you lie about your net worth to get a car loan and they find out, you get punished. It's not something you just get away with.
That's not true. But
whether or not that's it, New York Post does an article, like Jon Stewart does the exact same thing. He sold a house in Tribeca for $17 million. Its assessed value is $1.4 million.
1.84, yeah.
These are, I looked into it, it's completely different things. I talked to a realtor friend of mine, you might know from Miami, but he basically said this assessed value is just, the city sends out officials and they have their own metrics and they say, this is how much we think the property is worth. You get taxed a percentage of that net worth, 1.8 million. The free market decides what the apartment sells for.
If somebody really wants to buy Jon Stewart's house, then they can pay whatever he wants.
He didn't lie about the square footage. It's a 6,000 square foot Tribeca duplex with a 1,200 square foot private roof, an 800 square foot terrace. 17 million is not that crazy for this property. You might have overpaid because it's Jon Stewart's, but like I looked up pictures. I sent it to Miles.
No, he overpaid. He overpaid significantly, but
he sells it down the road for 13 million. So it's not like it's a $1 million house that he sold for 17 million.
25% loss on a piece of real estate, which is in Manhattan. It's very hard to do, but that doesn't mean that Jon has done something illegal. But let's not undermine what's happening.
Also, the guy could have sold because he needs money. Sometimes a guy goes broke. A lot of these really expensive properties, you'll see marked down more than you would a $100,000 house because it's just, there's more room and the guy needs the money now or whatever.
Sure.
We don't know what those circumstances are. But we know Jon Stewart just sold a house.
But you're allowed to sell your house for whatever price you want. Yeah.
So he did nothing wrong and actually sent our friend, the article, and he was like, oh, this is a complete hit piece. Now, he did say what's happening. He was like, every real estate person does this.
The thing isn't whether or not it's wrong. The thing is, people have this Trump derangement syndrome where anything that he does, they will grab onto and be like, what an absolute animal to do something like this, when they don't realize that not only is Jon taking the position of protecting the banks, like his position is, but the bank could have got hurt. You know that bank?
Well, Jon says I don't give
poor people out of their home.
Jon says I don't give a fuck about the bank. He says
no, I know he doesn't. But the only person that can get hurt in this situation, I understand in the piece he was like, well, those loans could have went out to some other people,
I don't necessarily agree
which they couldn't have.
Yeah,
the bank never goes, oh, we're out of money.
Yeah,
the whole idea of fractional reserve banking is there's always more money.
Yeah.
So
an entire housing collapse was built on this idea. Of
there's always more money, and they will give you. They can't wait to give you money if you meet the stipulations. So I don't think that was fair. I don't think it's a fair hit piece on Jon. It's at all, but it's also a hit piece on Trump. He's not doing anything that any other developer in New York doesn't do, and it's up to the banks to vet these things. The banks just go, oh, I guess we believed it.
Yeah, that's on the banks. Now, I was thinking maybe they're coming after him mainly because he's Trump. Secondarily, I was wondering if the banks feel embarrassed, like, dude, we got so fucking hard.
But they didn't get got. They got paid back. Everybody made money. It's a victimless crime. That's what Kevin O'Leary is basically saying. Like, if somebody lost money, okay, clip them. But the developer that he was working with was like, yo, we made money. The banks got their money back. Everybody made money. So why is he paying $450 million to the city or to the state? If there's a victim who lost $450 million, pay him that and so, like, how dare you? But if nobody lost money, he beat the system, and that's kind of what happens.
Did some people think they're going to make more money? You're lying.
Say again?
Did some people think they were going to make more money?
I would have to look in that. I think he made more money because of it, but I think the bank made back the interest that they want. That's what they're looking forward to.
But it's still a version of fraud. Like if you're lying on this document to get a loan and you're lying about how much you're worth, it's still
I would look at it like
you're still committing a crime. Maybe the severity of the crime is not that crazy, but it's still a crime.
my feeling is like you can't commit the fraud if they don't verify it. Like, do we really think that the bank isn't verifying this shit? Like, I can't fathom the bank. Like, you bought a house. The amount of bullshit that you got to go through to buy a house, the amount of legal the bureaucracy, the amount of checks and credit and everything that you have to buy a piece of property. I cannot fathom when it comes to hundreds of millions of dollars of property, they're just gonna be like, how much did Trumpy say it was worth? All right, I believe him. The banks know that developers are scumbags. They know, they are acutely aware of how scummy they are, and they're literally looking for margin anywhere they can get it. So they develop systems to protect against them. For whatever reason, they let that shit go. I'm just saying, like, this isn't, there are plenty of things you can be critical of Trump about.
Yeah.
This isn't the hill to die on or whatever, the cross to
Could it be?
Christ King.
Could it be what you often say to, like, you talk about I think you had a drug dealer on Brilliant Idiots, and he was like, man, I got 7 years for a crime I didn't commit.
Yeah.
And you were like, did you do other crimes that you could have gotten more time
100%.
for? Could it be the same thing with Trump?
Yeah, 100%. But get him on those, like, and get him on the ones where they're victims, like that. Those to me, like, I always joke around about like him not paying the contractors and how he's my hero because the contractors are taking forever to like do any fucking renovation I want to do. I keep spending more money. I joke about it, but if there are of those contractors, those families that the whole business went under because they couldn't afford to pay their bills, and like those people really hurt. That's to me a more compelling story if you're trying to assassinate this man's character.
Yeah.
To me, that's more interesting than, oh, Bank of America didn't count the square footage and then he was able to get a loan that he paid back and everybody made money on.
Yeah, I honestly don't know. I don't think he should be prosecuted, but I'm playing devil's advocate. Again, to your point, this is the thing they can get him on. So he got away with these other things that we can't get him on. We can get him on this.
So you're saying this is the didn't pay his taxes shit for Capone.
Yeah,
He
Capone.
made enough enemies, and now they're going to get him on whatever they can.
And so are you mad that he got, not mad, but do you feel that it's the hit piece by John or the fact that he was even prosecuted is what's unfair?
Oh, I don't care about the John thing. Like, I do whatever you want. I think it's my feeling is prosecuting him for this is only going to embolden his base, and rightfully so. Like, if I'm a big Trump guy and I see this guy who's like under attack,
That's my
and then you see this thing happening, and if you have any idea of like how real estate in this city or any city works, you're like, this is what they all kind of fucking do. Like, we're really just targeting this guy. Now it justifies that, yeah, they are targeting your guy. Now you're gonna lean in 10 times more.
But do you think, like, say, whoever discovered that he was doing this, or like, let's just let him do it because we don't want to make his base? But like, I feel like they should still bring the charges against him.
I think if you prosecuted more other rich people, it might be a thing.
And
But
here's the thing, maybe that starts.
maybe that does.
Because you guys say it like, oh, everybody's doing this, and I wasn't aware that everybody's doing this. I wasn't aware I can inflate the value
I think that
of
is
my
John's point. Is like
earnings and
rich
get
people
a
just
better loan.
tend to get away with financial crime.
Let me put. Well, people with finances are the only ones that can get away with financial crime. It's not like
You could lie to qualify for food stamps. I think was an example of John.
and they
brought
do
up.
that all the time. Poor people do that all the time.
And I think
Like,
people get upset about it.
yeah, but they're not going to jail. They're not forced to pay back the food stamp. Like, how many of our friends like claimed someone else's kid? Like, that was the big thing growing up. Like, if your friend had a kid, you claimed them as a dependent. I
think they stopped doing that because the IRS started cracking down on it.
Right.
So now you can't do. They closed that loophole up. Now you can't get
Are
away
you
with
certain
that.
of that? Or
Well, yeah, you don't hear that joke nearly as much anymore. I'm fairly certain. I'm 99% certain. Tax people have told me, yeah, the IRS is cracking down on this dependent shit. You're not just getting around. You're not getting away with that anymore.
Got it.
Which I think, and I'm not even necessarily saying I love John. I don't agree with everything he says. I don't really agree with his piece, but I think that's his point, which I can understand.
Yeah, but this is not something the IRS needs to crack down on. There's already a rule in place that it's not allowed.
Yeah, right.
Right? So the rules are there.
Mm-hmm.
It's how it's prosecuted. If the rule gets removed that you can't claim dependents, that is something entirely different. It's up to, in this circumstance, I believe, the banks to make sure that whoever they're loaning money to is capable of paying it back. It is in their best interest to do it. If I'm the bank and I find out that this person defrauded us, I'm firing every single person in the division. Like, I'm basically going, we got lucky that he ended up paying it back, but I can't trust y'all to run this fucking business. Like,
Now,
to me, that is how you punish this.
Fair.
But
But is
say
there
everybody does it? then
Let me
they're
give you an
gonna-
example.
is there not a rule in place that says you can't lie about these things to get a loan? And I would assume that's a rule in place that.
Sure, there's definitely a rule where it's like, be honest about your things, but I also think that those things are checked. Example of this. You look at an apartment in New York City. A lot of people don't know this, but if you were in like a walk-up in New York City, the stairwell can be considered part of your square footage for your floor. So you might have 800 square feet in your apartment and then a 200 square foot stairwell. You list that as 1,000 square feet. Now, you don't really have 1,000 square feet. You have 800 square feet, right? So the price of your apartment is based on a square footage. Is it 2,000 a foot? Is it 4,000 a foot? But is it 2,000 a foot based on 1,000 or 800? Now, it is legal to include the square footage. Should it be? Is that something that they should change? Because you're really talking about a dwelling. That's a shared stairwell. That's not your actual space. There's so many little angles and shit that you can pull within real estate. I'm not saying that this is the exact same thing, but here's an example of how the average everyday person, you, me, would list our apartment.
Yeah, but I can see that, because if you get around the system legally, then good, take advantage of everything you can get out of the system. But if you're doing it illegally,
10,000 to 30,000
equal playing field for everybody.
Here's something
and it's
illegal.
Not really fair.
Here's something illegal that right now you go onto any website in New York City. My apartment right now is the apartment that I live in with my wife and our baby nurse is listed as a 3-bedroom apartment. It is a 1-bedroom apartment that has a dining alcove and then a mezzanine, it's called. It is legally a 1-bedroom apartment. In order to be a bedroom in New York City, you need a window.
And a closet.
And I guess, yeah, that's right, and a closet. They illegally list it as a 3-bedroom apartment. They illegally use that, I'm sure, to inflate the value of their building. They illegally obtain loans based on 3-bedroom listings because you charge far more. So they are illegally doing this. Nothing's happening. They're not being sued. The developer's not suing them. They're not having to pay the city. Like, this is, you go on any real estate website right now, yours, when you bought yours, they probably said, or not bought yours, when you rented yours, they're probably like 1 bedroom or something like that.
It's fake 1 bedroom.
Fake,
Yeah.
right? But so this is like the smallest version of it. What I'm saying is, like, they're all doing it. And we will do it when we have the opportunity to.
Yeah.
When you sell your place, you're going to go every square inch of everything.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, what I'm saying is, it's just not the hill to die on with Trump. Like, go after him for the things that are legit, but don't go after him for the things that he does that everybody in his field fucking does.
Yeah.
Because it's just going to look like what it actually is, which is a fucking hit piece.
I agree. It's just they're just trying to get Trump because they don't like him. I think I said at the top. That's the main thing. Also, 10,000 square feet to 30,000 square feet is a huge lie, and I think this is the thing they can get him on. It's hard to get him on some of these other things, probably.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I think, would have gotten him because they don't like him. They want him out of here.
Yeah.
But this is the thing they can get him
I don't
on,
even
so
think they get him on this.
I don't think they do either, and I do think it only serves to embolden his fan base. But right now, this is the thing they can get.
But and when I say they, I just want to be very careful here. I don't even know if it's a organized hit. I think it could also be people trying to make their career off of Trump.
Fair,
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's not as nefarious as like 7 people at the DNC saying, "Hey, you go get him, you go get him, you go get him."
Hillary Clinton's the actual attorney that's suing him, dude.
But it's also party politics as well. But
No, there's definitely party politics, but it's also, there's a DA who's like, "Oh, I'm gonna make my career off taking down Trump." It is. So what I'm saying is, you don't even care. Like, not even you, but like, the person that's doing it doesn't even care about the people, the good people of New York or the banks or whatever. They care about forward progress in their career, and they're using this person to do it.
When they go private, they can be like, yo, I'm the one guy that got money from Trump.
Yeah. So it's everybody is faking it.
Yeah.
Which is the game.
That's
Don't
the
get me
game.
wrong.
That's what
You're
I'm saying.
100%.
So it's
But when
I don't want to call out one part of the game when everybody's playing the game.
so it's the same thing, I guess, with like trans visibility day.
Yeah.
Which is like,
It's,
and we were having this conversation before where it's like you get to a certain point where you're like, if everything's fake, why is nobody acknowledging this? And how do we trust any piece of information? Like Trans Visibility Day, Biden declares it. You knew when you printed it
Yeah.
that he didn't declare fucking Easter Sunday Trans Visibility Day. This was a clerical, I won't even call it clerical, this was a timing thing.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
Like, it's honestly Catholics flipping the fucking day every year when you think about it, right?
Yeah.
So, and the same thing with this, and it's just like, when everything is just bullshit, do you just play the game as well? Knowing that you're a liar? Or do you call out the truth? Like, yeah, what do you do in that situation? I feel like that making fun of how absurd it is that everybody's just going along with a lie
Jon Stewart.
is the position. But John knows. John knows better. He knows better.
I feel for everyone who like calls it how he sees it, I think he's the closest to being authentic.
No,
I think John is authentic. Yeah.
John is purely authentic. What I'm saying is he also knows that this thing on Trump is bullshit, and the only reason he's doing it is because Trump is running for president. He could have done this 20 times over with every developer in New York City. He didn't. He's doing it because it is an example of why this person that maybe he believes is unfit to be president shouldn't be. That's what I'm saying.
And also he's running for
public
he's running-
office,
he's
and he
running
should be
to be
scrutinized
president.
just like anybody else is. 100%.
and John's show is to talk about politics, so he's not going to just pick on any other developer.
100%. 100%. I'm not critical of the choice. I am critical of the choice about this specific thing when maybe there are other things that he could focus on. We spent so long on this fucking topic. Was it interesting? I have no clue what's real. I have no clue what's fake.
You know what's real though? Christ
One
is
thing.
king.
Christ is king.
Christ is
Thank
king.
you.
Every time we say that, Miles is going to insert a picture of you at the anointing stone, touching the
fire.
stone.
Hell yeah, dude.
You haven't been there.
I didn't write them all down,
I've
so
been there.
don't hold me to that standard.
I've been there, right? Or have I? I don't even know. Is that the wall?
Do it now.
You haven't been to the anointing stone, bro?
He hasn't been to Israel.
Wait, really?
I haven't been to Israel. I'm going to go.
It's not even on.
When this whole little kerfuffle settles down.
Yeah, when they get over themselves.
Kerfuffle. That's what you.
Wait,
it would
you
be
went
nice
to
to
the
go.
wall, but you didn't go to. You must have gone to the Church of the Holy Sepulchre.
Nah.
But
Brother.
you went to the Jew wall.
Son, I had to get my pick off, bro.
Why wouldn't you get your pick off at the anointing stone? That's where Jesus was wrapped up.
I didn't have enough time.
And
It's on the way to
you
the
didn't
wall.
go to the tomb where Jesus rose to heaven. I went to the place where he went to heaven.
What do you
from.
mean enough time? The whole shit's the size. It's like
Dude.
a block, right?
Nah,
You go-
it's a whole.
No, but
it's
you
a
walk
whole-
from your car past this small church that has the Sepulchre Church to the Jew wall.
Well, maybe
As a Jew, I'm offended.
my tour guide, he wasn't. He didn't bring me there.
Yo,
bro.
we should go do a Hajj. We should go to Mecca during Ramadan, dude. I have a friend that's there right now, and he was telling me the whole shit was like you gotta like camp out and you get your whole thing, and then you spend the day doing the 500 and you go around it.
If you go, I hope you get fucking kidnapped like
Why
that
would I get
barbecue kid.
kidnapped?
It's just
So
so
if there's
annoying.
one place he's not going to get kidnapped.
Why would I
it's
get
Mecca,
kidnapped?
yeah.
It's so annoying.
Why? Why is it
Going to
annoying?
do Hajj like
But you know you can't do the Hajj.
What if I convert?
Oh, you have to be a revert.
Oh, really?
Isn't that what it's called?
Because everyone was Muslim at one
Exactly.
point? Oh, that's fire.
Oh, that's
that's,
sick.
that's kind of smart.
That's
Yeah.
sick
Isn't it
branding.
called a revert? Can somebody look that up?
Were they
I'm
all,
pretty sure.
were they
that.
all Muslim at one time?
Meaning like we're all Muslim in God's eyes.
Oh, that's fire.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's good branding.
Oh, that is great, Brandon.
That's
I've never
fine.
heard
No,
that.
no, it's great.
That's
It's
fine.
fine.
Can someone look that up? I want to make sure I'm not
You know what
wrong.
you don't need to look
Apparently
up?
that's a trend that started in
We
the
don't,
90s.
we don't
Say
need to do
again?
that. We don't need to look up the facts, but we can remind you that you were all Jews before.
Stop the count.
Just want to.
No, we weren't all Jews before because you guys wouldn't let us in, you selfish fucking greedy pieces of shit.
Yeah, what the
You're
hell?
the only ones.
Yeah.
Right? You could have been all Jews. You could have solved this whole fucking Israel-Palestine thing if you just let them dreidel up. but you didn't.
Is that the answer? Is
The
that all we
fact
got to
that
do?
they got Christians and Muslims in there.
Yeah, dude.
I think you guys got to bring some people in,
Yeah.
dude. Open
They
it
got
up.
the-
Open it up. Open it up, Jews. Open it
You
up.
got the toughest bounces, bro.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, even if, what's the rule? Even if your dad's Jew, you're not Jew.
Yep.
That's
Oh,
crazy,
crazy.
bro. That's
Crazy.
half. And
I'm
you can't
ready
be-
to marry an anti-Semitic girl. As long as she's Jewish. What else? I don't care.
After
what
she marries you,
feels.
she will be.